Hello, YouTube. It's me, John Avenger, once again, and welcome back to Movies That Star Kids Month and Children. And this is the sequel to the 2003 hit Cheaper by the Dozen. And this is the more underrated version, I think, in my opinion. Cheaper by the Dozen 2. And you have most of the cast coming back for round 2. Now, the film does have more problems than the first one, but I'll get to that. But I don't think this film was Razzie worthy. I don't think it's horrible. I don't think it's a bad sequel either. I think it stands on its own. It's not the same freaking movie. It's something different. Basically, the family comes back and they go into a camp to go up against us. Eugene Levy's family, which are a bunch of tightwads, and they want to. They're supposed to be rivals against Steve Martin's family, but they actually like each other. They don't hate each other. And I like the cast, the new cast members you got. You got Eugene Levy, Carmen Electra, Jamie King, Robbie Amell. This is before he was in The Flash and in Arrow. I think he was in Arrow as well. And and also you have whatchamacallit, Taylor Lautner is in this movie. This is before he did Twilight and ruined his career. You also have a couple of other faces. Yeah, and I don't mind the kids here. The kids on Eugene Levy's family, because they're not assholes. So I like that. And of course, I like the family coming back. I did have one problem with the cast that uh, Hillary Duff comes back, but she looks very thin, very undernourished, and this is at the time that she was going through a messy relationship with Joel Madden or whatever, that guy with tattoos and wears a hat. Yeah, and she was starving herself to look good for him. She looked horrible in this movie. She looks way too thin. I mean, look at her. Look at her neck. She looks way too thin in this movie. She doesn't do a bad performance. It's just she just looks awful. The rest of the kids are much older. I mean, this was 2 years later. Piper Parabo's pregnant in the movie, so she doesn't really do much. She does give birth to the twins, I think, at the end of the movie. Uh, the kids are just as likable as in the first film. It's a different plot. It's not a remake of the first film where it's just in the house. No, they rival teams that want to do their best to see who's the better family. They do go canoeing and I think tug of war and all this and races and all that. Yeah, and it's fun, and there's a lot of funny scenes. There's a scene where Eugene Levy and Steve Martin are in the movie theater, and I think they're seeing an Ice Age film, and he puts his arm around him, and he's showing me the move, but it's not a gay joke, I promise. It's just it made me laugh. Matthew Knight makes a cameo in the movie. He's from My Babysitter's a Vampire and the Good Witch films. Yeah, he's in the film in a brief short scene. And yeah, it's lighthearted. I like the film. It's definitely underrated because of the Razzies and the critics were not kind on this. They usually hate sequels to comedies. It's been that way ever since the 80s. But this is not Caddyshack 2. This is not freaking the Hangover sequels or or like Miss Congeniality 2 or something like that. No, this is actually a decent comedy sequel that doesn't suck. I like the film. I like the cast in it. Andy Shankman directs it. He's not as good as the director of the original, but he still tries. He did the Hairspray remake, and he knows how to use an ensemble cast to his advantage. And like I said, it's a light-hearted comedy, family comedy with some of the same tone of the first one. It doesn't become dark and edgy. It doesn't get violent. It doesn't have like a scene where it takes you out of the experience. It is flawed. Like I said, some of the actors don't have anything to do. Like Carmen Electra is barely in the movie, and I don't buy her with Eugene Levy. She was like in her 30s when she did this, and Levy was like what, in his 50s. Yeah, it looks weird to me. And like I said, Hilary Duff, she looks undernourished. She should have been in the film, but eat. Don't starve yourself for a man. It's not worth it. And I wish Tom Welling and Piper Perabo were in the film more. Ashton Kutcher's gone. He's not. He's never mentioned again. He disappears. He's not in this film at all. So it's kind of weird to know that he's not in the movie. And yeah, but other than that, it's a film that I would recommend to you guys. If you've seen the first one, I got this at Target for like $4, so it was worth getting. And it's not bad. It's actually decent. It does something different. It's not just and it doesn't retcon the first movie. Fuck you, by the way, Last Failure. I know you're coming out this week. I don't want to give you the pass. This movie actually is better because it's a real sequel. It continues the story from the first one with the same characters, the same actors, and it goes in a new direction, but not in a stupid direction. Like if this was just a remake of the first film with the house and everything, I would have been like, no, this is too much. It's too much like the first one. It felt like a new film. It stands on its own 2 feet, and like I said, it's its own movie. Why are sequels so hard to make now that they just want to be the first one again? No, I want to see something different. Case in point, right there and right there. And don't give me the Disney talk. Oh, Disney owns Marvel, so you should hate everything Marvel does. Why? If it's good, I'm gonna give it praise. This movie's decent. I don't hate it. It's not Disney. It's 20th Century Fox, but it's not the worst sequel I've ever seen. I'll take this. This came out the same year as that abortion Son of the Mask. That's one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. That's a sequel that deserves all the bashing it gets because it doesn't know what it's doing. This, at least, it's watchable and it doesn't hold your hand and it doesn't have horrible CGI and the cast is trying. I can say Steve Martin is trying and Eugene Levy's trying more than freaking Jamie Kennedy. I can easily say that without question. And I like this film for what it is. It's a decent sequel, and I like that they made a follow up that doesn't feel like a rehash. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Take care. I know it's going to snow here tomorrow. Again, a snowstorm in spring. Welcome to spring, guys. It's going to snow again in the Northeast. But hey, I'm warm here. I have a bunch of movies to watch on DVD and on YouTube, and I have a lot of things to do. I'm going to shovel again, hopefully on Thursday, and yeah, I'm ready for what spring is going to bring forth because I have a lot of things to do. Avengers 3. I'm going to a swap meet. I'm going to go on vacation in May. I'm not going to tell you when. I'll just I'll notify the guys on YouTube or Facebook, and yeah. But anyway, thanks guys for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in the next review.